Kicking up dust on a rick house floor. Charred oak whispers we can't ignore. Stories in the mash, fire in the grain. Raise up your glass, feel that bourbon flame. We're the bourbon legends, let the spirit flow. From the backwoods stills to tonight's big show. Every drop a story, every sip that's drowned. We're bourbon legends, let's throw it down. Let's throw it down. From Kentucky hills to the neon lights, we're talking small batch days and whiskey nights. Tasting the past in every pour. Gonna carve our names on the distiller's door. We're the bourbon legends, let the spirit flow. From the backwoods stills to tonight's big show. Every drop a story, every sip that's drowned. We're bourbon legends, let's throw it down. Let's throw it down. Raise 'em high, feel the fire. Clinking glasses, lifting higher. One more toast to the ones before and the legends we're making forevermore. We're the bourbon legends, let the spirit flow. From the rick house walls to your front row. Every drop a story, every sip a crown. We're bourbon legends, come gather round. Come gather round. Come gather round.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thirsty Night Live. I'm your host, the Bourbon Santa, Craig. We've got a good show lined up for you tonight. Now, I'll tell you what, bear with me now because I'm still learning everything on this program. I got a new computer and I'm really ready to see what we can do with it. So, without further ado, if you look down at the bottom of your page, you're going to see something there that says post #N. Capital letters, single file, little letter, it doesn't matter. As long as it's #N. And at the end of the night, we're going to be giving away a 4-pack of samples by Wild Turkey. Now, before we get started here, I want you guys to welcome in my co-host for the night, Mr. Roger Randall. How are you, Roger?
Good. Cheers, Craig. How are you?
Cheers. Having a little dram tonight.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Roger? You having a good day so far? I know you've had a little dental work done tonight, or today.
Yeah. I had a dentist beat me around bamboo torture, the water treatment, but I'll survive, and the bourbon's going to make it all better now.
That's right. Nothing better than bourbon. Get that concrete taste out of your mouth or the cement taste,
Cement taste, yes.
Yeah. Well, at least you have teeth now that you can, even though you're not an original Arkansas native, we want you to have all your teeth.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to try to keep them.
So let's get started tonight. We're going to have a good time. I have a feeling. And I was looking around and I was looking at some new things that are dropping. And I believe it was today. I may be wrong about that, but let's see what we've got here in the old magical bag. What do you know about the E.H. Taylor Distillers Council, Raj?
All I know is it's a Grecian-style glass decanter, and it's going to cost $1,500.
Yeah, don't you like those little bullet points that I've put on there?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually the 14th release from E.H. Taylor in the lineup as well, and it's 100 proof. I'd love to have this bottle, but I'd also love to have $1,500 in my pocket.
Me too. But we might have to just do a Sunday afternoon day drinking and talk one of us into buying it.
Hey, I mean, it's happened before. The other thing that I would love to do at some point, and I don't know if it would even be possible, but like, wouldn't it be cool if we had something like this and we had 15 people that would go in $100 and we just buy the bottle and split it up 15 ways?
Yeah, and make it like a traveling trophy where you have the bottle at your house like once
Yeah,
every month.
that
You
that
know,
would that would be pretty neat. That
pass
would
it
be
off
cool.
in a formal ceremony. It'd be great.
We could fill it up with iced tea or tea rather, and then that way it'd look like it's full. You know.
Well, I might have a few bottles of E.H. Taylor small batch. We could just keep refilling it with that.
I would almost be willing to bet that if you filled it up with just the regular $54 small batch and you let somebody taste it, it would taste 1,500 times better than that.
I would have to agree. I'd have to agree. It's all about the decanter. It's
Absolutely. And it's a pretty bottle. Look at that. Man, that would look so good sitting on my shelf.
did they
Uh,
give an age statement on there? They don't give an age statement, do
no,
they?
I do not believe there is an age statement on that Taylor.
Well,
Now, speaking of age statements, the next bottle. Now, this one is going to drop. I believe it dropped today uh, in stores if you're lucky enough to find it. But we also have one that I want to talk about.
uh-oh. This is the Bardstown Hokkaido Mizunara Oak Barrel Finish from Bardstown Bourbon Company. What I find intriguing about this, Craig, is it's got bourbon from 9 to 18 years blended together in this, and then they aged it for 28 months in a Hokkaido barrel. But the big but here is there's only 6 barrels produced,
Yeah. And
MSRP of $99.
there's no way you're going to find this bottle. Number one. Number two, no way you're going to find it for $99.
Well, you can get it at the distillery, apparently. They're dropping it there. If you happen to be in the Reserve Club and live in one of the 4 states that the Reserve Club will ship to, including North Dakota and South Dakota, you might end up with a bottle of this. I think we might need to make a magic run and go up to Louisville this weekend. What do you think?
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Now, do you know what the difference is between a Hokkaido uh, oak and just the regular Mizunara oak?
No,
I do know. I do know.
you do know.
I did a little research, and what it is the Hokkaido. Is that how you pronounce it? Hokkaido?
I like it. I like Hokkaido.
Whatever. I'm not fluent in Japanese. It actually is a tighter. The oak grows denser, so it makes a tighter barrel, and the Mazana oak, if that's how you pronounce that one as well, it's just not it's a more inferior oak compared to the Hakata. That's probably why there's only 6 barrels of it. It's probably very expensive, if I was to guess.
Yeah, getting that shipped over from Japan, letting it age, and then barreling it. This is a project that's been in the making for a while. So, but again, this is what they're doing for that reserve project that Bardstown's doing.
Well, it's kind of like the cathedral there. I don't know many people that found that one either.
No, no, we had a chance to, but it was gone. So,
And up next, now that one's going to drop tomorrow, Friday, since we're live here on Thursday. That's going to drop tomorrow on the 11th. And on the 12th, if you are down in Texas,
it's the Garrison Brothers Guadalupe. And for all the Texas bourbon folks, there is quite a few of those out there. This is an annual offering that they do with there that I know is very, very popular. When I worked back in St. Louis, we had people coming in begging for this bottle, and as soon as I think we had 8 one year, and those were gone. Those 8 were gone in a matter of like an hour or two on a Saturday morning.
Is that right?
Yeah, they
You
just.
know, I don't know if I can say that I've ever really had anything from Garrison Brothers, honestly.
I've had a few of their offerings. Um, it is a definite, distinct flavor that you get with it. Very deep, dark oak, has a little funk to it. But from what I understand, and again, this is as their processing gets better and as they've gotten better and kind of changed their water source, maybe done some little changes there, it's getting better.
Well, that's good. I know it's that Texas heat. I don't know what the difference is on the influence on whiskey from Texas heat to Alabama heat, but I prefer that Alabama whiskey over that. Hey, there's something I forgot. I wanted to lead the show off with this, and I forgot about it. But if any of you guys know Straight Up Sips, the other channel, Marshall and Alyssa, if you guys may or may not have known that, they've kind of put a hiatus on their show because Alyssa was with child, and we're glad to say that after 20 hours of labor, Alyssa just gave birth to their new daughter. She doesn't even have a name yet. So if you want to put out suggestions for a name, we can pass those on to Marshall and Alyssa. But
Well, you can
wanted
drop
to
it in
say
the chat.
congratulations to them and on
Yeah,
their new bundle of joy.
congrats, Marshall and Alyssa.
Now Alyssa can start drinking a little bit again.
Yeah, again, I think I like your suggestion for Marshall this weekend.
Yeah. I said
He's
I asked Marshall what Alyssa was going to drink to celebrate, and he said whatever she wants. And I said, well, if she gets to drink whatever she wants, I think that you deserve to have a drink of Pappy since you're the new Pappy. So if anybody wants to send Marshall a sip of Pappy, he says I don't have any Pappy.
I'm
And,
sure we can get one to him somehow.
and the thing is now, Roger, having two little mouths to feed, he probably won't be able to afford a Pappy for a long time.
He's been doing really good lately. He's a pretty smart kid. He's resourceful. He'll find a way to grab one of those.
All right, let's move on. Now we're going to go to a new topic, and this is one that a lot of people's touched on lately, and we're going to get Roger's view on it. I'm going to give my view on it, and guys, you can leave your views in the comments as well. Don't know how. I see we had 60 comments, so I don't think I can get to everybody, but
So we're going to talk about today a little bit about, is the bourbon industry in trouble? Because we've all heard all the gloom and doom. I think everybody's heard it. You know, sales are slowing. They have to always come up with a reason why the sales are slowing, calling it changing taste, rising competition, things like that. I think competition's a good thing. I think that's something we always need in the bourbon thing. Truthfully think this is what we've all been wanting, is some sort of reset to it, and getting back to where some of the stuff that used to be allocated is much more available. E.H. Taylor, Eagle Rare, blends. Those are all sitting on shelves in a lot of stores around the country, not everywhere. Memphis, they're sitting on shelves like mad. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think this is something that we needed for a while. It's going to make the distillers get a little more creative, come up with some different ideas, maybe lower, find a way of lowering the price points instead of making these extremely hard to find things. Make something that's more available for all of us to generally drink. I think that shows with some of the other new products that have come out. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Again, Craig's got his probably has his own feel on this, but I think it's one of those things we need to just kind of wait and see how it goes. But I do know is if you like bourbon, drink bourbon, go out and get it. But
My own opinions on that. I just want to tease. Now this is a long tease for way out, but I believe it's the first Thursday in August. I'm actually going to have a distiller, not a distiller. I'm sorry, a distribution vice president out of Arkansas, who's going to be in here, and he's going to give us some time, give us his thoughts on what's happening in the bourbon industry, and if anybody's going to know, he's going to know, because I mean that's his bread and butter. Of course, beer sales and whatnot are probably going to be uh, always there, but he's a whiskey guy by heart, so he's going to give us his opinions. So you'll want to tune back in on that. But I think maybe we are going to see a lot lower pricing and more availability. I don't think we're going to see it though on those Hokkaido barrels and all of those really highly allocated products. Although, like you were saying in Memphis, just this past weekend, E.H. Taylor small batch was everywhere for $54. That's distillery price, if you went to Buffalo Trace, and it's readily available. So, you know, I think it's going to be good for us. I just don't know if every distillery out there is going to be able to survive, especially some of these small distilleries. Will they be able to handle a downswing in bourbon sales? I will allude to this. My friend Anthony, who will be on with us, he has told me that definitely sales are down in bourbon whiskey, and sales have shifted to rum and to tequila. So, it's an ebb and flow. I mean, I don't remember personally, but people have told me, Pappies used to sit on the shelves and collect dust. So a lot of it has to do with what's popular, what's not, how the economy is, and everything else. But big distilleries like Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace, they're not going to be touched. But maybe somebody like, say, I don't know, maybe Ben Holiday, more of a craft distillery, a little smaller. Maybe it's going to be tougher for them. I don't know.
yeah, I think your smaller non-distilling producers might have some more problems just because the availability of extra barrels out there might not be as great going forward. But again, if they can keep their price points down, I think this is just a readjustment, just what we wanted. There's no market for flippers right now. The flippers don't have a market on the basic stuff, and as long as I think that's what all of everybody in the bourbon that drinks it wanted to see. Well, you've got it. So get out there, get that Eagle Rare, get that E.H. Taylor, and drink and enjoy. And I think Craig went away for a second. Oh,
Hey, we're back. Much to the
hey,
chagrin of, much to the chagrin of some people that didn't like the commercial being run through the middle. But you know what? Somebody's got to pay the bills. Somebody's got to
exactly.
pay the bills, Mr. Brock. Hey, everyone, we're back, and this man here does not need an introduction. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. We're not
We're,
talking
who,
about. We're talking about not talking about Roger. We're talking about Chill Will Rocco, a mid-level celebrity. What's going
that's
on,
right.
Will?
Absolutely. Oh, just chilling here in the basement, sipping some bourbon, hanging out with you guys.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So, what do you think about the bourbon industry? You think it's going to
Well,
float through? You think it's good for us, or what do you think?
yeah, I think it's kind of a combination of those things. It's gonna be good for the people who enjoy buying and drinking bourbon. It's going to be probably rough on some of the small producers for sure. I think those producers, distillers that put out really good products are going to be fine. You know, I think more availability from the larger distillers for people to get their hands on is going to be good because there's still going to be people out there that are getting into the bourbon game now that are looking for those Blanton's bottles. They're looking for, the Wellers. They're looking for, the Elijah Craig barrel proofs and things that some places are hard to get. And I think there's still going to be a market there. It's not going to just completely dry up. There's still going to be demand. So I think it is a reset. I think that's going to be beneficial to everyone that's purchasing. So, I feel like it's going to be a good thing.
I think you're right. Well, we have a little echo here. I don't know what's going on. Let me
No.
see if I can. Let me see if I can figure that out.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe not. Okay, hey, we're going to do a new segment. Roger, I'm going to let you go have a potty break if you need to. I've got a segment here that we just come up with on the whim, and it's called Five in Less Than Five. Now, the way that works is since we have Will as a guest, Will has no idea what he's getting ready to be asked, but I'm going to ask him 5 questions, and he has 5 minutes to answer these, not each question, all of them together. So, Will, mainly the first thing that comes into your head, just spit it out, okay?
Okay,
So,
my first vehicle was a '67.
no.
Oh, wait a
That's
minute,
not
that's
a
the wrong
question.
questions.
That's not a question.
Oh, okay. So you
What
don't want my
smell?
security
What
key?
smell or taste instantly brings back a memory for you? What smell and taste? What memory?
Let's see. Anytime I open a bottle of bourbon and get a heavy oak smell, it reminds me of going on a barrel pick that I went on a couple years ago. And so we were standing at the warehouse door, right? And we're outside talking. It's December and it's cold. And then all of a sudden, he says, "Let's go inside." And we open up the door, and this heavenly smell of oak and bourbon just hits you right in the face. So anytime I would get a really oaky bourbon, that takes me right back there.
All right, I like that idea. I like that. I'm going to switch sides with you there. I'm going to bring Roger back in. Question
Okay.
number 2. I hope somebody's got to stop watching their timing him. If there was one class that you had to teach something randomly to a person, what class would that be?
A random class to teach some. That's interesting. It would not be bourbon tasting notes because I'm not that great at it.
I think
Probably
I'm pretty good at it.
another
Trying to,
thing I'm not great at's knot tying, so it wouldn't be that. I don't know, maybe cooking. I've always been pretty good at cooking, just making stuff up on the fly. So there you go.
I like that. You can cook for us anytime. Those cookies you made this weekend and brought over was excellent.
Well, yeah, I've worked really hard on those at Costco. So
My wife comes out of the bathroom and looks at me like, "What cookies did Will make this weekend?"
hey,
In-
you're eating up my 5 minutes, Craig. Come
Okay,
Oh,
sorry. Question number 3. Okay, what's one thing that people would be surprised to learn about you?
on. I don't know. Maybe that my hobbies range from bourbon to board games to hunting and fishing and camping. So I have a lot of different interests
See,
that
that
people
that
might find that
wouldn't
interesting.
surprise Roger and I because you've been
Yeah,
online before from the deer stand.
yeah. Well, that's true.
All right, question number 4. If you could have one drink with anyone from the past or the present other than me and Roger, who would it be and what pour would it be?
Hmm. I think I would really kind of like to go down and talk to Matt Crittenden and just sit in his distillery, his warehouse, and sample some stuff straight out of the barrel. I'm
Now,
not real good at picking historical people to have
that,
drinks with and stuff like that.
that one is doable. I mean, that
that's
one could
doable,
happen.
son.
Absolutely.
Road trip.
There
Road
you
trip.
go. And number 5, I think he's going to get just under 5 minutes here. What's a simple thing in life that brings you a lot of joy?
Man, just a good nap. Taking a good nap. I came home from work today and just laid down, took a couple hours nap. Man, that was great.
Get you
That and good food.
refreshed and energized, huh?
Yeah, I had to get ready for the show tonight, man.
Oh, I know. I know. I've been getting ready since 5 a.m. with this show.
It
And
shows.
and so now we're going to move on from that topic and get to the meat and potatoes of the show.
Well, I think we're talking about Wild Turkey 8 year.
8 year wild turkey. I've got to pour mine.
You got a bottle? I might or might not have been drinking on this.
Maybe a little. We're just going to do a tasting pour, right? I mean, not a Daniel drinking
Oh,
pour.
not a Daniel drinking pour. Oh, okay. Well, we all got Legends glasses. Wow, look at
Mhm.
that. Where can you get those Legends glasses at,
It
Craig?
was in that commercial we ran a minute ago from
Oh, the
the
bourbonlegends.com?
bourbonlegends.com.
Yeah, because not to dissuade the thing, but you might see the bourbonlegends.com and hear about it on another network out there tomorrow if you watch this video. But I'll just say
Ah,
that.
I thought that video was going to drop today. It's going to drop tomorrow, huh?
Yep.
So jumping into the nose of this, I've had mine under a cover for a while, and when you first pop that cover off, it's extremely dusty. It's like grain being dusty to me.
Yep.
It's that wild turkey funk for sure.
It definitely carries it in this 8 year for sure.
I'm also picking up a little cinnamon, maybe some cinnamon oak.
Yeah,
Not like an Amberana cinnamon, more like a. No, talking about cooking. Like if you take some cinnamon and you kind of grate it into something, kind
Ooh.
of that kind of
Yeah,
cinnamon.
maybe a little cinnamon roll, little bit of hint of a sweetness back there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fair, especially for the price point that you can find it at. I know it's a little bit hard to find for a lot of people, but Roger saw some. I believe it was today or yesterday. 8 of them sitting on a
Mhm.
shelf in Little Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
44.95, which is
Tupelo runner saying baking spice, that's a good call on that.
Baking spice. Yeah, I can see that.
So kind of like
and
some allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon.
what I find interesting is I don't get the normal taste that I get from some of the other. There's not that caramel or I don't get that butterscotch and caramel.
No,
But let's see if I get it on the palate.
Yeah, I got to admit the 8 year from sip to sip is all over the place for me. Like I had a little sip of it earlier and really just didn't like it. But the longer it sits in the Glen, it seems like it evolves. And each time you take a sip, the flavor's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it. I mean, it's 101 basically. That's just aged what, a couple of years. 101 doesn't really have an age statement. Some people say 6 years, some say 7. Maybe it's a mixture of maybe all of the above. I can say though that the 8 year maybe is just a little more nuances, maybe a little more complicated, slightly than the regular 101.
I declare to being a little more subtle when it comes up and hits you. Whereas the 101, a basic 101's got that
Spice.
cinnamon that just in bite and that spice that just bites you right off the spot. Whereas the uh, 8 year, it just comes up and lets you gently rolls across the tongue. It doesn't hit you with a lot of craziness, but I enjoy it. I
But,
enjoy
but
it.
but here's the thing, guys. How does it
Yeah,
compare to the
absolutely.
70th Mr. Jimmy bottle there?
Well, artfully Bourbon
Oh,
Scott
sorry.
says the 8 year, the Wild Turkey 8 just didn't hit. He they said it's not nearly as good as the 70th, and I would agree with that.
Well,
The
we're going to
70th.
try it right now.
We are going to try it right now.
Well,
The
right
three of
off
us
the
might have a
nose,
few bottles of these.
maybe just a few. Right off the nose, I mean, it's definitely to me a little more sweet, a little
Yep.
more.
I don't get near the dusty note.
No,
There's
Nope.
no grain being on the nose here.
Nope.
I guess
Still
sitting
get the
around for
bacon
2
spots a
extra
little
years
bit.
in that old rick house makes a difference on the dust.
Yeah, the spot in the rick house it was, which one it was.
It's definitely sweeter on the palate. There again, this is comes in at 101 as well. Just I guess, is there anything special about this compared to the regular? Besides it just being called, I mean, it's 8 years. It says.
It's
Uh,
8+ years. When they gave the original story, Jimmy had said he picked out some 9-year barrels, some 8-year barrels. He prefers it at 8, but 8 and 9-year barrels, but from the rick house that he chose. And that, I think that made the difference. And it's a smaller
It's the,
batch. It's a smaller
hand
batch.
selected. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
and
has
this is the cool thing about bourbon because Father Fortenberry says he was disappointed in the 70th, and I really like it. But that's what's one of the great things we sit around and talk about this, and everybody's palate's different. So
Yeah.
well, that's the deal. I mean, one man's trash is another man's treasure when it comes to whiskey drinking.
And we got poor decisions pairing with the I guess he was talking about the 8-year, more being more like a vanilla cream soda. And I I can see that. I can see that because again, more subtle, more. But I really enjoy the 70th. We've talked about this before. I think in one of our previous videos when the three of us were together, and we really enjoyed this bottle. But it's a shame that they're not going to do this every year. And maybe in 5 more years we'll have a
Jimmy's
35th,
75th anniversary
75th
bottle.
anniversary.
Hey, real quick, I want to jump on here and let everybody know we're going to leave the end post for the today's giveaway. Right now it's 8:32 Central Time. We're going to leave that up until 8:37, and then we're going to close it down. So if you have not got your end post in, now would be the time to do it. Now you have to be a subscriber to actually get your end post in. So if you guys are out there and you're trying to figure out why you can't post, you have to subscribe to the channel. And you have to be a subscriber for 1 minute. So if you have not subscribed, man, you have like 4 minutes now. So get to it, subscribe, and get in on that bottle sample pack. And I want to throw up just real
Hashtag
quick,
in.
hashtag in, and this is what you're going to get out of that sample pack. You're going to get a Wild Turkey 70th, which we're all sampling right now, and you will 2 ounce pour. You're going to get a Russell's Reserve 10-year store pick that I picked up locally. You're also going to get a 2 ounce pour of Russell's Reserve 13. Some of us may or may not have drank some of that this weekend as well.
Yep.
And you're also going to get a one-off that you'll probably never get again, and it's the Toasted Turkey 107. And that's a little project that I had done this winter on January 1st. I barreled together 107. I'm sorry, regular Wild Turkey 101. And I also put in Rare Breed to bring it up to a proof of 107. And then it sat in that highly toasted, non-charred barrel for 6 months. And I'm not going to talk about my own product, but Roger, Will, you can chime in there and give your thoughts on that Toasted Turkey 107, if you will.
I mean, just the package is beautiful. I mean, just look at the label, very nice. I actually have not opened it yet, but Craig.
So have you had a taste of it, Will?
No, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to open it right now.
Uh-oh,
We'll have a
fresh
taste
Fresh
of it.
crack.
crack coming.
Oh, I'm getting nervous now.
I have, and I really enjoy it.
Oh man,
Ooh,
listen to that
wow.
pop.
Cork pop.
I put a top cork in there just for that pop.
I like that pop.
I'm gonna let that sit for just a moment while we do what else
Yeah,
we're gonna do.
I tell you what, it
What is that?
was,
Go ahead,
I
Roger.
like the toasted. I love the toasted part to it because not getting that extra char to it and just adding that toasted flavor to it really does great. And I think everybody's looking for a little bit higher proof toasted product, and that's what you get. And
I mean, for me, I think in my wheelhouse at least, 107, 110, somewhere in there is something I really like. Uh, everybody's proof. Well, I love a high proofer if it doesn't drink like a high proofer. You can go back and go to the Bourbon Legends YouTube channel where all three of us got together and we did a blind, and the lowest proof drank like the highest proof, and the highest proof drank like the lowest proof, and it really surprised the heck out of all of us. So,
yes,
you
it
know,
did.
I just like that middle of the road 107, love Weller 107. So just kind of went with that. It's even in our logo, 107. So all right, you got
Yeah,
1 minute.
Craig,
1 minute.
that's
We're
good.
gonna close this thing down, and then we're gonna spin the wheel of names at the very end of the show, which will be coming up around the 45-minute mark, 8:45 ish.
Yeah,
We'll do that.
hashtag in. Hashtag in.
Hashtag
Not
in.
hashtag out.
No,
No.
that won't get
I
you
put
anywhere.
hashtag out down.
That
I
won't
put
get you
hashtag
anywhere.
out. So anyway, I guess I'm not in the drawing.
So I'm going to open this up for questions. If anybody has any questions for the guest panel or myself, we can try to answer a few of them before we do this big giveaway. I'm actually going to hawk one more thing. July 31st, there you can see on the ticker at the bottom, we're going to give away a super allocated batch of samples. Um I know we're going to have some Pappy in there. We're going to have maybe some I don't. Next week, I'll give it away what all we're going to have. But I do know that we're going to have a BTAC in there as well. It's not
And
going to be.
maybe this year's possible bourbon of the year. You never know.
You know what? I think it could be two possible bourbons of the year because I've got to go to Hot Springs and pick up one of those possible bourbons of the year.
Yeah, we might have a little showdown.
Could be.
Could
And,
be.
and and I think instead of doing four, let's give five away or maybe six. I don't know what.
If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. I mean, and
Go
I
for it.
want to say hi to my unofficial sponsor, Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey. If they feel any of this content is helpful for them, let us know. We'll be glad to do special guest appearances with Jimmy at the distillery, and we'll have a
Yeah,
good old time.
and our talent fees aren't even that high.
No, and I'll tell you this one thing about our guest: he's a mid-level celebrity.
That's
Chill
right.
Will Rocco does have a YouTube page, but he does not want you to go out and like and subscribe it. So don't go
You'll,
out and subscribe to Chill Will Rocco.
you'll be sorely disappointed in the lack of content on my channel.
Oh man, I don't know. It's some beautiful, beautiful videos though.
Oh yeah, some beautiful nature videos. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean it's like my vacation channel. So, unfortunately, my wife doesn't travel with me. She's just not able to do that. So, whenever I go off on trips, I'll shoot videos and post them there so that she can experience the travel as well. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I have private. Things that I had the radio blaring while I was driving down the road. So, YouTube doesn't like it because of
Get
copyright.
get monetized that way.
well, I can tell you one thing. He
Anyway,
takes you in those videos in places nobody else goes because he's called me from some of those places. He goes, "Well, I'm sitting by this waterfall out in the middle of the, where'd you go? I just went for a walk." And I
Yeah, I
love
was
it.
texting Roger via satellite on my GPS one time because I didn't have any other service. So
It was
Hey,
good.
now one other thing I want to mention tonight. Yes, Mike Brock, I got it. It's waiting to go. We're just killing time. 5 more minutes. We're going to draw that name
suspense.
there.
We're
Uh,
building suspense.
uh, Kenneth has a good question here. He says, "What bourbons are we hunting right now? Any of you guys hunting anything special?"
Old Granddad 7. And as soon as it comes out, the new Disco 13. Discovery 13 from Bardstown Bourbon Company.
And that'll be in August, right?
That's in August.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think most people right now are hunting the old Fit 7, with the dress, as some people call it. I've already got mine, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I've got mine. I really would, and I've not seen it yet. I put it in the Discord page today, which is another thing. If you guys are not on our Discord, you should head on over to thebourbonlegends.com and join up to be on our Discord, because we share information all day, every day, all hours of the day. We're on there at night talking, a little more PG-13 rated, sometimes a little bit R rated. It just depends. But one of the things I put on there today that I'm looking for is the new batch of Bookers. Has any of you guys seen the new Bookers out? It's called By
No,
the Pond, or On the Pond is the theme of that one. So
I saw it when I was over in Memphis this last weekend, along with lots of the batch. That's one thing I'll give you. Batch 1 and Batch 2 of the new Bookers, it's really available. I've seen it at a lot of stores, sitting a
so you
lot
did
of it
so you
sitting
have
there.
seen it in Memphis.
Yeah, I saw it in Memphis.
Okay. Well, I think we may be going to Memphis here before too long. I might have to hunt that up.
We could do
so
that
so
when we head
brother,
up to Louisville.
yeah, brother Fortenberry says, "How do you identify a buff turkey? Do
Well,
you
it's
guys?"
usually a 15-year product. Uh, I don't know how you officially know whether it really is or it isn't. Do you guys
Well,
know?
there's not a way officially, I think, and that's one of the things you talked about today. And the question of the day: what are some bourbon laws that you'd want to put in place? And maybe that's one of them. Identify the state of the company of distillation for the product. But yeah, there's a lot of them out there. There'll be more of them coming because there was a lot of barrels of it that were sold. I know that Storytime Distillery had one that they put out earlier this year. Uh, Apparently, oh, was it Augusta Distillery is
Augusta
doing
did.
one. Augusta's doing
Well,
one.
supposedly, I have that bottle of Wide Earp, or is it Wide Earp?
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's not Wide Earp. It's the other. Yeah, maybe it is Wide Earp.
Was it the Doc Holiday that you had out
Doc
there?
Doc
Holiday.
Holiday.
Doc Holiday 15. I've heard that was buff turkey, and then I heard that it wasn't. So I don't know.
Well,
I know it's
whatever it
good.
was, I sampled it when we were there at the bottle share, and it was good. I enjoyed that one.
It was pretty good. So, guys, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to put out there before we roll that big wheel of names to see who's going to go home with some turkey tonight?
All I say is just please go out and like and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Take a look at our Patreon page. Look at our Discord. We would appreciate it.
Yeah,
I've got a long dissertation on camp cooking and etiquette. If you want me to go through that, it's only a 45 more minutes. We can hold off on the giveaway till then. Another 45 minutes.
I don't think
I
Daniel
don't
can take
know.
it that long. I don't think
Okay,
he'd
okay.
stay
Well,
awake
we'll
that
hold that
long.
for another time. Hey, whoever's going to get this is going to enjoy this toasted turkey. It's good stuff.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to see if I can figure out how it works. So you guys bear with me here.
No,
I'm
you
going to
gotta remember he
try
got
to.
himself a newfangled computer,
It's
and
new. It's newfangled, all right. Uh, and I really don't know which one I need to hit here. So there we
Oh,
go. We're
there
still
we
all in
go.
here. We can see the wheel. So I don't know. You might have to zoom up on it. I can't get it to be any larger. That's what she said. So this was pre-done. Thank you, Mr. Mike Brock, for sending this, compiling this together, and sending it to me. It's not rigged. If it is, you're going to have to blame Mike, not any of us on the screen. So I'm going to click, and here we go. Good luck, folks. Looks like Matthew Jarrett is going to get
Matthew
this.
Jared.
Hey, congratulations.
Congrats,
Congratulations,
Matt.
Matthew. I know you're over there in the West Memphis area, so get with me. If you're not in a big hurry, maybe I can just hand deliver this. I know we usually hand deliver them anyway, but this time we truly may hand deliver it. So get with me. You can send me a Discord chat or Facebook page or wherever. We can do that. Now, I do want to mention, okay, we have some exciting things coming up in the next few weeks. Like I said, we have a guest who's going to join us next week, who has a heck of a palate. I'm not going to pull his name out of the hat here. I'm going to make you guys tune in, but you're not going to want to miss next week's guest. We have another couple of guests that we're working on. That's I think it's going to end up being a really good show. And like I said, in August, first week of August, we're going to have that just always say distiller distribution VP for Moon and Glacier here in Arkansas. And there is going to be a trip coming up pretty soon. We're going to do a trip to Nashville. And if you guys get on our Discord page, you'll probably find more information there. We'll try to keep up with it and let you guys know here if you want to join us on that. Going to go maybe to a was it 13 Stars Distillery, I believe.
Oh,
It's all in
glory.
the works.
Oh, glory.
Oh, glory. Okay, so we're all working on that, and we'll probably just see you guys next Wednesday for our Wednesday night theme night with myself and Roger and Terry, who's down in on the Gulf of America right now. So I want to thank you all for joining. Be sure and like, subscribe, and share our channel to all your bourbon friends. We want to make this a big community. We want to start doing bottle shares. Well, we already do that, but we want to do big bottle shares. We want to do store picks, barrel picks, and just get to know all of you. And we've got a good tight group of community, people. So the more the merrier. Roger, it was good to see you. Thank you for coming in tonight. Will, thank you for being a guest and giving your opinions. I know I kind of threw a wrench in the old cog there with the 5 question thing, but
Well, it was
got,
fun. It was fun.
well,
Yeah, it
I'm
was a
glad.
good time, Greg.
Well, hey, I thank you all. It's like old Hillary Clinton says, it takes a village to run this. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Everybody out there, hop over on the Discord if you want. I think we may be on there for a little bit for a little after hours party.
Sounds
Cheers, guys.
good.
Be legendary.
Cheers,
Cheers.
everybody.
Thank you to all the patrons that help support this page. Stick around to the end. You'll see who we're talking about. Good night, everyone.
Good night.